G'day, Tom Gehrman, sales representative at Apex Results Realty located in Burlington, Ontario, right from Grimsby through to West Mississauga. So it is July 20th, 2015, and I've got to say, it's been busy. Now, I did not post a market update for June, as when I would normally do that, I was out of the country for about 10 days down in the States, involved with some other projects. So it is July. Okay, good news. The oh my gosh, insane list of property have 6 or 7 offers on it. That's gone. The spring market is over. Has the market gone bad? No. Interest rates, there was just a minor cut announced by the Bank of Canada. Not going to have a huge impact in any way, shape, or form unless your variable and the bank passes a little bit of that savings on. After all, the cut was only 1/4%. They cannot go. I did not think they could go that low. I didn't think they would. Was it now? They're at 0.5%, I believe. I hear it that they're doing a cut, and I'm shocked. The reason behind the cut is not because markets like Toronto and Vancouver are super hot and need to be boosted. The reason they're doing these cuts is because overall the bank is looking at Canada. Toronto is a very small part of Canada. Vancouver, same thing. Yes, they are slightly riskier. There's more going on there, but it is not as big as the entire country, and that's what they're factoring in. Now, understanding Toronto creates a ripple effect. So your house is worth 1.4 million in Toronto. In Mississauga, you can get something similar for that price. It's going to be a lot bigger, a lot nicer. And the further west you go, the nicer the house, less you're paying for it. In Burlington, detached houses start for $400,000. Now, yes, you will find something for under, but not a lot. If you go further into Hamilton, they're putting a GO train station in now on James Street. Property values right in that area are just skyrocketing. People are coming in from Toronto and purchasing because they know they're willing to commute. I will commute 40 minutes. It will cost me $300,000 to buy a house, a detached house, and I can sell my apartment for $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 in Toronto. Anyway, so the spring market is over. That's good. I was involved in a few multiple offers. My clients didn't get it. I'm kind of glad they didn't because I saw where the prices were going, and I look out for my clients' interests. So overall, I'm kind of glad that this insane market is over. Had no listings at this time. I'm one of those weird ducks. Sometimes it's a good mix of both buyers and sellers. Sometimes, some years in past, I've dealt with mostly sellers, and some years it's been mostly buyers. Now, I would have preferred to deal with a seller 3-4 months ago because I've dealt with the situation in past. What's going to happen is, well, summer's here, and the summer's going to hit, which is coming up soon, and someone's going to say, I want to list now. And they'll base the market value on their property, what they think they should be listing at, based on what happened in the spring, and they may not realize that, there were 6, 7, 8 offers at a time on a property. Cash offers, whatever closing you want, and boom, just please, we want to purchase your property. And we want to do it more than the other people who were lined up. And those people got frustrated and carried on doing the same thing when they went on to other listings later. I've seen several people do that. You get sick and tired of losing. So you go in high and you remove your conditions. Not a good thing. But anyway, so what's going to happen is some listings will be overpriced. If the market does slow down, haven't seen indication that the market's bad. It's not bad. I haven't seen any indication that the market's going to slow down other than the normal summer slowdown, which has hit. There are still a few multiple offer situations going on. That's dependent more on area. And if you're using a tease price where you priced a bit lower, interest rates are phenomenal. Banks tightened up. Some of the lenders definitely said, hang on, these multiple offers, what's your list price? $240. Okay, the offer's $280. We don't like that. And then you have a very detailed appraisal. Have I heard of any transactions falling apart? No. I do know that the lender will want more time. because they will have a full appraisal go through, and it doesn't always go in your favor. So inventory right now is lower. People listed, they got it out of their system, they went off and they spent more money than they should purchasing the next round. Interest rates are phenomenal. What I think is going to happen is summer's going to be decent. It's going to continue on. Few listings, buyers will do their thing. It's going to be slower though, not as hectic as it was just a few months ago. September, October is going to hit, and it's going to pick up again a little bit. Now, if those prices stay at the height they were, or if they come back down a little bit, by coming back down, I'm not talking about people listing not at 200 or 500, but listing at 190, let's say, instead of 200. No, I'm talking about someone listed for 200 and then it was selling for 230, 240, 250, 260, in some cases even higher. So I don't see people turning around and listing at 260. I see the price coming down a little bit towards 230, 240, 245 possibly. Or if the market's not moving, people will list their properties properly and say, well, it was worth 200. We had a flash in the pan. How much stuff is selling right now at those price points? And they'll price properly. So September, October could be busy again, and it's going to carry on for a little bit. Now, here's my thing for you. Here's a bit of a tip. If you are sitting there and you're about to purchase, rates are so low right now, I would look at a variable. I don't love variable rates. I do not like risk. I think risk is not a lot of fun. I would go variable, realizing I believe the only variable rates you can get are 3 or 4 year term. You can't do 1 year variable, at least not that I've heard. I would take a variable, and I keep a very careful eye on rates. I would enjoy the savings. I would pay it down like it was a much higher rate. I'd be ready with the penalty. So let's say 2.5 years from now, the strong rumors interest rates are going up. And we're talking they're going to go from a 5-year fixed is 2.89 or say 3%. It's going to 5%. I would break my mortgage at that point. I would go in, make sure I've got terms where I can do this. I'd pay them the 3 months interest. Here's your $2,000. And at that point, I would lock in for a 5, 7, or 10-year term. Because then I would know exactly what I'm paying. I know exactly what's going on, and how I can hammer that mortgage down. In fact, if I've had the mortgage for 2 years and my monthly payment is $1,200 on a variable rate, and it would normally be $1,500, I'd be paying $1,500 down on that. $300 a month. $300 a month will have a big impact. $50 a month over the life of your mortgage will knock off almost 3 years. So a 25-year mortgage will be about 22 in a few months. So if you're paying $300, you're going to knock it down even further faster. So when you turn around and lock it in, if it's only 5 years, very well. I would take any extra money I can get, and I would drop that money onto the mortgage. I would make sure that I was paying it off faster. So when it comes time to renew, rates will one day be higher. But you can take advantage of the variable rate now. I can't see interest rates going up in the very near future, not in 2015. Possibly not even really in 2016. The economy is okay, but the bank is looking at the country as a whole. And while we're doing okay economy-wise, we're not doing top-notch. The government's concerned, everyone's concerned, so you do this. So if you're out there right now and you see all the cheap money and you're like, oh, I could do something like I could buy a cottage, I could buy investment property, I could do this, be very, very careful. If you own your house, you want to take out 20% of the value right now, and you want to purchase an investment property, it's a risk you take. Be careful, ask questions, find out how to do it properly, go ahead. If you bought your house a few years ago and your $270,000 property in a nice area is now $400,000, and you want to take $100,000 out to go purchase a property, you be careful. Because interest rates will go up at some point in the future. And it's not that real estate will stop. What's going to happen is the market will adjust itself one day. So if interest rates go up, people won't really be selling. Do you need to sell? No. we're okay. We can live here a few more years. And then when everything settles down, we'll move then. People who bought 6, 7, 8 years ago from now in any of the areas I operate are doing well. Prices have gone up. If they lose, and I've heard some crazy numbers, someone was talking a 60% adjustment down in price. So $1 million house will be selling for $400,000 to normal people in a few months or a year or two. I can't see that happening. I can see there being an occasional deal. I don't like that word. There's transactions. Deal or we get a McDonald's, but I can see some deals coming if interest rates go up because the banks will have a few properties they want to sell. But not immediately. It will take time. So I think if someone loses 20% of the value, but they've gone up 50%, you buy 200, it's gone to 300, now it's worth 240. They're still ahead. People still need someplace to live. The naysayers I'm hearing about seem to be pretty quiet right now. I haven't read much on any of the magazines I read, any of the newspapers I check once in a while. Anything else? I'm not hearing a lot of the negativity. I mean, Greece was big in the news because, their economy's collapsing. They're getting out of the EU. Oh no, they're getting the money. All their drama takes away from the important things. How are we doing? We're okay. Anyway, I've made this way too long. Apologize for that. If you watched the whole thing, awesome. I'll be posting another video in a few days. I've been working on some other projects. I'm finally comfortable mentioning what those projects are. Quite proud of it, actually. And you know what? Make sure if you're purchasing, you have enough money down. Make sure you have surplus. Make sure you can cover the mortgage, no problem, even if it's only one person's income. If you're, hey, we're flush with money, when you purchase a property, you never are. Things always come up. But work on the mortgage. Consider a variable as long as you keep an eye on the rates. And if they look like they're going to be going up seriously in long term, like the good times are over, we're no longer looking at historical lows, then I would lock in. You can get a 10-year mortgage. And if I could get a fixed 7-year mortgage for 3.1%, I would do it. Because I've got small kids and I've got expenses and I like to know exactly what the mortgage is. Anyway, enough. I'm done. Have yourselves a great day. Take care. Remember, no matter what else you do, always stay positive.